Brighten up those already bright mornings. Wheeler, Ollie, and Lecter. Mornings at the Cabin.
Mornings at the Cabin, indeed. Wheeler and Lecter with you on your Tuesday mornings. A little rainy out there. It looks to continue throughout the day, spitting on us as, I don't know, something would spit on you.
Kind of dark.
Camel?
Not so
What,
bright.
the joke? The joke about something spitting on
outside.
you? Oh, outside. Yeah,
No.
It's not that bright. And I mean, as many times as we've gone through this, and as many times as you're surprised every year, not surprised, but like taken aback by how bright it gets.
What?
We are losing light at an exponential rate, literally. So
Terrifying pace.
terrifying pace. It's dark now at night, almost. That sucks.
It's close, yeah. You
getting there.
you actually have to use your nightlight again if you're trying to read it. Now.
That's so well. There you go.
Ah.
Trying to read it.
I
Nice.
gotta save these old eyes.
You
You know?
big nerd.
Yeah.
What are you doing reading? Put down the book. You egghead, put down your bookie wook.
And think.
Yeah, think for yourself, bro. Don't be reading things. Listen, I'm going to send you some YouTube links that are going to teach you how to think for yourself.
I'm reading this really bad biography about Dave Grohl.
Is it the one? Oh, is it the one you were reading before? I Am
Yeah.
Grohl by Dave Grohl or whatever?
Something like that. It's not by him.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, because it's a biography, not an autobiography.
Yeah.
It's not Grohl on Grohl.
Yeah.
It's someone else on Grohl.
That's right.
Yeah. And
He's
it's
not
bad?
great. He's
No?
not great.
It's
No.
not great. It's probably Dave Grohl, right? It's his ghostwriter name. Like it's his pen name. So whatever name of the author it is. It's
Dave
like,
Droll.
Dave Droll on Grohl. Unfiltered. And then he puts it out there and he sees how well he did. And people are like, oh, it wasn't that good. And he's like, you know what? I'm going to tell my own story. Grohl on Grohl.
Mornings at the Cabin, the podcast.
This morning's show brought to you by Robin's Grad Girls. We wanted to express our thanks for your caring, compassion, acknowledgement, and all the time and effort you put into ensure that Robin's legacy will move on. We would also like to thank everyone who has already supported Robin's Nest and encourage those who have considered a donation. Who haven't to consider a donation, pardon me, as all money raised will go to improving chemotherapy rooms at the Stanton Territorial Hospital, and the fundraiser will be ending shortly. Robin grew up in the NWT and was well known for her prowess as an athlete. The legacy Robin wishes to leave is truly a statement to who she was, helping others first, even when faced with her own difficulties. Robin's goal is to have the chemo chairs upgraded in the 5 chemo suites at the Stanton Territorial Hospital. Any remaining funds will go to the purchase of new equipment. To donate, search for Robin's Nest on Facebook before July 31st. So you still got a few days. You got about 10 days to donate to that. It's obviously for a great cause that is still floating around on Facebook. The goal was, I think, to raise about $200,000. And last I saw, they were around just under $80,000.
Okay.
I believe. So that's it's obviously a very good cause. Robin, very, very well loved in the community, and so if you have a chance to donate, please do.
Absolutely.
Find that on Facebook. So yeah, great cause. You and I don't see eye to eye on everything. Now that I know
not everything.
I know it seems to everybody that we're very chummy, and we are
We are chums.
for the most part.
Don't chew your nails.
Just chums? I had
Not
one
the middle of the show.
I had one little thing.
No,
sticking
you
out.
take care of that later.
Chums. Anywho, you and I don't see eye to eye on the end of Game of Thrones.
No, we did not.
No, we did not.
I mean, we could, but you just chose wrong.
I don't think so.
Um,
I seem to be on the majority side that the series went off the rails, especially in the last season, but in the last 2 seasons kind of started to go off the rails.
But Jesse, you and I both know the majority of people are idiots.
This is why we live in a democracy.
Why I'm a radio show host too. That's so charming.
So charming. So charming. You're good looking though too, so you got it both going on. You know?
It's good to be me.
I mean, it's not bad.
Could be worse.
Could be a lot worse.
But could it be worse than the ending
of Game of Thrones? Possibly not. But
no, it definitely could.
It could, because I mean, there's a lot of things worse than the ending of Game of Thrones.
Perfection can be Just like not enough for
Can
some.
perfection be so disconcerting to so many people that they're like, F this show?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. Perfection just does not, work for so many people.
Yeah.
So the reason we bring this up, and we've it's a running joke that you and I do not see eye to eye on the end of Game of Thrones, but all is not lost. Game of Thrones prequel, House of the Dragon, has begun casting. So it's like, film and TV are starting to get back into production depending on where it is. California, no.
Right.
There is one show shooting in all of Western Canada right now, and it's Winona Earp. And it's actually Phoenix's dad works on that show.
Oh.
So it started to shoot in Calgary, or it's starting to shoot very, very soon. Actually, I think it started shooting this week. And so they're going through all kinds of protocols, obviously, right? Mask, glove, the whole nine.
Right.
They're kind of acting as like a primer for everybody else.
A primer?
A primer, yeah. A primer. I was going English there. A primer for everybody else, just kind of like, this is how we're going to do it. If it works, great. Let's copy this model and, keep moving on.
Right.
Because there's a ton of productions in Canada that are halted right now, especially in BC. So they started shooting. Game of Thrones prequel started casting, which means they're going to start shooting soon. So House of the Dragon, it's based on Fire and Blood, right? A history of the House Targaryen set 300 years before the events of GOT. Now, had this been announced around season 5, it would have been like, oh, yes, amazing. Let's see 300 years ago, because this is what we hear about all the time. We hear about the Mad King, which was like, however many years, 30 years before the events that we see, or 20 years before the events that we see in Game of Thrones. But we always hear about 300 years before that, where like the last Targaryen that rode a dragon, like the big dragon head down in the Sept, was the last dragon. Drogon. Yeah. No, not Drogon.
No.
Tarragorn. Galadriel.
Something with Orn in it. Yeah.
Gornishin.
Scarnagorn.
Scladrial. Someone is screaming at their phone right now saying, it's this. It's probably Phoenix. I can't remember what the name of that.
If there's one thing we do consistently on this show,
is misnames.
Make people scream at their phones.
Well, you hope so. I hope someone's listening that intently that they're like, no, idiot, it's this. I hope. I hope someone's screaming that I'm an idiot every day. So that's what's coming up. So they canceled one. They're not going to do one of them, but they had two that they approved that they were going to shoot.
Okay.
And then they said they're not going to shoot the one, but they are going to shoot the House Targaryen one. So 300 years in the past, this is the whole thing that this was the last dynasty of Targaryens and like the last dragon. So after those dragons died out, that's when they started becoming or after that period with the dragons, they started becoming really small.
Right.
And then they mentioned it in the series where like the last one they saw was no bigger than a house cat. But that this generation of the Game of Thrones that we've seen have seen those dragons, and they were very tiny. So, yes. Does that all make sense? Great. So we're seeing
right there with you.
one of the last big great wars was 300 years before that, where the end of the Targaryen house, the Targaryen dynasty, and so I mean it could be interesting, right, to watch. So if this was announced during season 5, I would have been like, yes, absolutely, I want to see that. Now I don't care.
You don't care?
I don't. You know why? Because I know it leads to nothing. It leads to nothing.
But that's a lot of years in between the eventual nothing.
I don't even know if I can watch like season 1 through 4 of the show anymore. Because I'm like,
sure
this is all really good. Oh my God, this scene. Oh man, I can't wait to find out what happens after this scene. This scene sets up this, and then it's going to go to this. I can't wait to. That's what happens. Nothing. Oh, nothing happens. Great. Nothing happens.
Fine.
Oh, man, these White Walkers are going to be crazy. I mean, I can't imagine the battle that's going to happen when it. Oh, it's done in 5. No, it wasn't. It was dark.
Yeah,
it was
you
stupid.
missed most of it.
Yeah, it was dark and it was stupid.
Yeah.
Oh man, when they get the Dothraki in there to fight the White Walker. Oh my God, that's going to be insane. Oh, they're gone.
No, there were some left.
Yeah,
they came back.
There was a few left. Yeah, you're right. There was a few left. Pardon me. Oh, I can't wait. Oh, Bran wargs. Oh man, he wargs. Oh, I bet he's going to warg into a dragon or a wolf or something. He warged into a wolf. He's going to warg into a dragon. No.
Raven.
No, yeah, a raven. And that was it. Oh, he's a 3-eyed raven. He's going to be able to do all this stuff. No. Can't do anything. Okay. Oh, he can see into the future. That means he can tell people what's going to... No, he doesn't do that.
Well, he might be able to. I don't know.
No, he's
the
able
jury's
to.
still out.
He can.
yeah.
He literally says, "I can see everything."
Yeah, but he could be lying. He's just playing the game.
That's right. He's just playing the Game of
Brandon's
Thrones.
got to play it too.
And when you play the Game of Thrones, you either win or you have a really pathetic ending.
It's gonna be a good prequel.
Yeah. Can't wait for the Song of Ice and Who Cares.
The Mornings at the Cabin podcast was recorded before a sort of live, thankfully not in the studio, audience.
This morning's show brought to you by Robin's Grad Girls. As we know, Robin Mercer-Spruill passed away just a little while ago, and they have been raising money. Her family, her friends, everyone that supported her has been raising money for Robin's Grad Girls since then, looking to add upgraded chemo chairs in the 5 chemo suites at Stanton Territorial Hospital. And if you don't know about Robin Mercer-Spruill, you can go to Robin's Nest, the fundraiser on Facebook, let you know everything about her. She is a great, she grew up in the NWT, has a huge legacy as an athlete here in the North, and is fought bravely against, against cancer, and is looking to, they're looking to get some donations up until July 31st. So if you have an opportunity to do that, please do. They're looking to raise about $200,000, and they've raised about $80,000 so far. Search Robin's Nest on Facebook before July 31st. They also want to send a shout-out to everybody who has donated so far. Thank you so much for your support. And if you haven't, please do so, and you can upgrade those. Just make people's chemo treatments that much more comfortable. Get those upgraded seats in there. So thank you to them for the sponsorship this morning, and thank you for their efforts in raising money. Speaking of raising money, I guess not really raising money, but the town of Inuvik has a bit of a struggle on their hands with their new sign, the new gateway welcome sign into Inuvik. So there's a proposed plan. It was put out for tender, and it was awarded to a Nova Scotia artist who designed something that not everybody likes. So
it's been an issue the last few
It's been a bit of
weeks.
an issue, and a lot of people raising their ire, I should say, about the sign and its design, about how it's like it's Northern Lights, and it has Inuvik there, and it's meant to evoke the Northern Lights. And somebody made a point on Facebook is that Inuvik doesn't really get a lot of Northern Lights; they're cloud covered a lot. So,
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either, but maybe that's completely wrong. I got that off of Facebook. Somebody could just be talking out of their butt.
Well, I mean, I guess they would experience less darkness than we do up here. So
but during Northern Lights times, they'd have more darkness.
But I guess the seasons would be. I don't know.
I don't know either.
I'll just take that person's word.
We probably
for it.
should have had someone from Inuvik on the line.
Well, we tried,
and Des said no. Des said no. You guys can stuff it, and I was like, Des. He's like, I'm kidding.
But seriously,
you guys stuff it. Yeah, go stuff it. So it's there's been a lot of there was a lot of backlash. Deputy Mayor Paul McDonald raised a motion to halt the process of constructing the sign for 2 weeks. So straw polls determining whether residents like the design could be conducted. The polls would help council assess whether the backlash was representative of the community's opinion as a whole, or if it was just outliers from other communities, such as Yellowknife, telling the Inuvikers what they should do. Is it Inuvikers?
I don't know.
Inuvikites.
Inuvictorians?
Inuvictorians. No, but that's a little too much Victorian.
Yeah.
They like that.
Oh, yeah, look at that. I'm just looking at a map of, the Aurora, as you know, that map where it sweeps through the Arctic. Inuvik is just above it.
Just above it.
Yeah.
That's right.
Huh.
That's kind of what I read.
Well, what do you know?
That it's not really representative of what Inuvik is, but
right.
An artist from Nova Scotia may not know that. They're just like, well, it's Northern Lights. That's what they're known for.
Therein perhaps lies part of the problem.
There is the rub. So some residents, including Inuvik artist Ron English, have criticized the town for awarding it to a Nova Scotia-based firm, Fathom Studios. So not even just an artist, a firm that's going to do the design for them, rather than relying on local talent. Now, the town said it did not receive any local bids. However, the competition down the road, and Inuvik Drum reported that some residents found the structure of the tender made it difficult for artists in Inuvik to apply. Well, that doesn't seem right. A government tender, hard to apply for. What are we doing? Several councils, however, weren't convinced any pause in the process was warranted. They put it to a vote to stop and like take a step back, and it was defeated 4-3.
Right.
So
close game.
Yeah, close game.
Yeah.
No one came through in overtime. Yeah. What are you going to do? Or right before overtime, I should say. No one did like a filibuster. That would have been amazing. Can you imagine if Dez did a filibuster in the middle of the council chambers and like recorded it for Totally Arctic Wrestling? I mean, make a mockery of the whole system. I mean, that would be great.
I thought that was his whole.
I thought that was the whole thing.
Here. Yeah,
that would have been amazing.
Just cut promos. In
the
middle
that's right.
Of votes.
In the middle of council, in the middle of council meetings, that would have been incredible. The cream rises to the top, brother.
And it may yet.
And it may yet. It may yet. So, Inuvik, best of luck to you on picking which design to use for your gateway. I mean, it does make sense that like it should be someone local or at least someone from the north. Why are tenders going out to like? That's the thing. Why are tenders going outside the north in the first place?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I mean,
we have. Why is it open to a firm in Nova Scotia? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, we have a pretty good
artistic community here. Yeah,
all things considered, considering the small population of the territory as a whole, we have a pretty good art scene here. We
do. Well, I mean, this is a place for artists. I'm talking about myself. For artists who weren't successful elsewhere to come and be something. I'm only talking about myself.
And create some signs, for goodness sake.
For goodness sake. But yeah, it doesn't make any sense that like it doesn't make any sense that someone in Nova Scotia would even be in the running for this. You put it out to tender, but you don't put it out nationwide. You put it out to tender, and maybe you put it out to tender to start in the city and in the territory, include the north, like include Yukon, include Nunavut, and then after that, go, okay, well, literally no one applied. So, and maybe that's what happened.
I mean, and that kind of sounds like that was the case, but you think you would push as hard as you can for local public engagement before resorting to going elsewhere, right? If if a sign is like so desperately what you need. I mean, the old sign was looking. I don't know if you've seen pictures of it. It
just said Inu.
Yeah, the Vic had long since fallen off. Was a danger to children. Yeah, everything.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. It fell on a kid. Yeah.
So I mean, like the artist renderings of the new proposed sign
are
like it looks fine. I don't know if you saw. We had an article about it a couple weeks ago, and the artist who had made this proposal.
Is it an artist or was it just like a group think at this Fathom Studios?
No.
Like, oh, there's like Northern Lights, and we'll make it slightly look like the alphabet in you know what I mean? Like it just like the characters look very similar, and yeah, it's I don't know. Was it? Yeah, it doesn't. It's not credited to an individual artist.
There was some statement I said where the inspirations came from for the sign, and it was one of those things where it was like tying a bunch of different elements together, and then you look at the sign itself, and you're like,
no,
I feel like you might have missed the mark if that's what you were going for.
But they've already spent $100,000 on it. That's 1/6 of a splash park here in Yellowknife. It's already been spent on design and road work to prepare the sign site. So they've started building the infrastructure around it.
Right.
So they've gone this far. So how do you put a halt to it now when $100,000 has already been spent?
Yeah.
You're already making preparations for this particular design. Not that it couldn't be changed, but I mean, that's how far along this process is. And now it's like, can we just take a second? Well, you made it this far along the process with an artist from Nova Scotia.
Yeah.
Just doesn't make any sense.
Well, the really frustrating thing is we're finally coming around to a time where we're finding names for, potentially at least, names for sports teams that make everyone happy.
Yeah.
And we're still struggling with town signs.
That's right. Designed by people not from here. Doesn't make any sense. Find that story.
It's a nice looking sign, though.
Is it? I don't know. I mean,
it's not the worst thing I've ever seen.
It's not the worst thing I've ever seen. That's a great review for something. Not the worst thing I've ever seen. I've seen worse.
Oh, seen some signs in my day. Let me tell you.
Yeah, like anyone, like those all lives matter signs. That's terrible.
Mornings at the Cabin, the podcast where we cut out all the great music and you're left with the rest.
Joined by two very special guests who we will not announce just yet. We'll make them wait. Don't make any noise. They'll give it away. No, we already told them about this, didn't we? Clams and Moose join us this morning.
I could just sit here.
What was that?
That was kind of my moose call.
That was a moose call? What sound
What does a
what
clam
sound
sound
clam?
like?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the sound clams make.
That should be our intro for our show.
We're waiting to do our liners.
Yeah,
So there we go.
and amazingly enough, that hasn't been produced
A
yet.
mooing
Yeah.
moose and a snapping clam. Very nice. Thank you for joining us this morning. Always a pleasure to have you. Blah, blah, blah. We wanted to bring you on. We had this conversation over the weekend, obviously, because we were all kind of feeling the hurt this weekend that we were supposed to be somewhere that we could not be. Our favorite place to be in the summer, which is at Folk, for Folk on the Rocks, 40th anniversary this year, but will be forever 39 because this year's festival was canceled. But we'll start it up again next year, right?
And what a beautiful weekend it was.
It was gorgeous.
Right? Like,
Perfect.
that was
Absolutely.
classic July
Yeah,
hot
no.
weather.
I love working till 6 on a Saturday in the middle of July. It's beautiful. Getting home and not being like well enough to go anywhere. That's great. No, it was a beautiful weekend. Absolutely stunning weekend. And we were talking about that yesterday, just how perfect the weather was.
Yep.
Even though we couldn't be there.
Made it hurt a little more.
A little bit.
It did.
I tried
Yeah.
not to think about it all weekend. Had enough FOMO in my life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that wasn't FOMO. That was just wishing that we were all kind of together over the weekend. It wasn't a fear of missing out. We were missing out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd gotten over the fear. It
I'd
was
gotten
just
over the fear.
a sadness.
Just a
of missing
stab.
out. Somo.
Deep in my stomach. Sadness of missing out?
Or
Yeah. Okay,
straight-
that makes sense.
But is
Straight
it-
up missing out.
Is it
Straight up
really,
missing out.
Is it
Sumo.
really,
Sumo.
is it really missing out if it didn't happen?
Well, I mean,
That's a good point.
yes.
Ooh,
I mean,
getting
is it?
philosophical.
I guess
on
we
this
didn't miss
Tuesday
out.
morning,
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Straight up missing you.
So what are we sad about?
Yeah.
Nothing happened.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us, guys. Always a pleasure.
Just
Talk
sad
to you soon.
millennials, like always.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
this is what it feels
whiny.
like to be a millennial.
Yeah, you just cry.
I
about
was
Yeah, I
it.
guess
complaining about something.
Well, you and I are elder millennials.
We are not millennials. We are.
I am an elder
Gen
millennial.
Xer.
No,
He
I am
just
not a
sat
Gen
there.
Xer.
Is
Do not put
definitely
that.
not
Do
anywhere
not put
close
that
to a
crap
millennial.
on me.
1981.
Is an elder millennial.
Between
Gen X is
19
like
Between 1981 and
67 to-
1995,
no.
I think, is a millennial.
Yeah. Okay.
That
So
sounds about right.
I'm 81. So
Oh well, there you go. You can. That's fine. I don't think.
don't
It's,
put that Gen Xer tag on me.
I don't think it's anything to brag about, but that's.
Being a millennial? Well, neither is being a
we
Gen
won't
Xer
get into
though.
that.
Neither is being a Gen Xer. You know how y'all raged against the machine and then bought houses? Oh, man, I'm going to wear this plaid. I'm going to rage against the government, and I'm going to really be open about my depression, and then I'm going to get a 6-figure job and buy a house.
Sounds like you did it right.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's his plan. That is plan.
I got in.
You got it?
Let's compare notes in 10 years.
Oh, I know.
okay?
No. Let's compare notes right now. I'm renting.
Folk on the Rocks.
We wanted to talk to you guys about Folk on the Rocks. Obviously, it's a huge part of your calendar as well, and we just wanted to have you on the show. We just love having you.
Yeah.
And we love getting Moose up this early. It's just not natural.
Yeah. No, it's not.
Waking up for the morning show
Yeah.
and whether or not you're a morning person is very stressful. It's
Why?
so
You don't
Moose
want
and
to
I.
sleep in.
Well, it's not. Yeah, exactly. So we always like the night before we go to bed. Okay, what time are you waking up? Okay, if you get up first, text. You know,
Well, just like that last time, I had to call Clams and wake her up. I'm like, what is
What?
happening here? Yeah.
because I was
Oh, wow.
I was up. I was just singing in the shower. So I just missed my phone.
She's like, oh, what?
She was
Oh my
prepared.
God, what is
She's
happening?
warming up her voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But always stress dreams. Like I had a morning show stress dream
Last
Oh.
night?
last night.
What
Woke
happened?
up at 4.
What about?
Okay, okay, go back to sleep. Missing the show.
Oh, missing the show.
Yeah.
It's really not that stressful. It happens to like the main hosts like once every 2 weeks.
Happened yesterday.
One of us will just sleep in. What happened yesterday?
You missed the intro,
Oh, I did miss the intro.
and you still have a brekkie penalty you have
I
yet to
do,
pay.
yeah.
Oh dear.
It is carrying forward.
Bottom line, though, is that Clams and Moose take the morning show very seriously.
You should.
Yes.
We don't.
Although today I was kind of like, yeah, I see what they're saying. And I.
You're right. This isn't a big deal.
Well, I can tell by your.
However, I saran wrapped my coffee so that it would not spill in my truck. 'Cause
Oh, wow.
I forgot my travel mug.
I was going to say, there are travel mugs. There's probably still a Contigo around here you can have.
Ooh.
No, I think they're all gone.
Oh, they're all gone now?
Yeah.
No, fair enough.
But
Yeah.
speaking of folk, like
Yeah,
who,
back to the, speaking of that.
who would have been your guys' favorite act this past year?
Ooh.
Oh man, I mean, it was a crazy
I mean, you've
lineup
seen them all
this
before,
year,
so
obviously.
you
Yeah, yeah.
know
Yeah.
who's good.
Yeah, I mean, I was super excited to see Joel Plaskett again.
Yeah.
2016, he was fantastic here. So yeah, I think he was probably the one I was most looking forward to.
Tegan and Sarah hadn't had a chance to see them.
Yeah.
So that's who I was most looking forward to. I didn't see them when they were here the first time, and I had a chance to see them in Vancouver. I didn't go. I said I'd go a little later. I'll go a little later, and by the time I got there, they were gone. And when I asked the guy if they were going to come back, he said he didn't know. There's your Simpsons reference for the morning. But how are you guys? Yeah, and how were...
Well, what about my favorite band?
Well, that's what I was just about to ask. I was just about to reverse it on you two.
This is Clams. Sorry, excuse me. I didn't actually... There wasn't really
You don't even know the lineup.
Forget the lineup. I was... So Tegan and Sarah,
Yeah.
I'm a fan. I'm not a diehard. I don't think I own any of their music. But
Right.
I definitely do know a lot of people that were very excited. And I always get a lot of excitement out of watching people
Get excited.
who get excited.
Yeah.
So that was one thing that I was looking for. is
You don't
like-
even watch the bands; you just stare at people.
Yeah.
all
Mostly,
weekend long?
yeah.
She's like
Honestly,
a photographer
I'll just-
without the camera.
Yeah, I get joy just seeing people
Yeah.
knowing songs word for word. And
Yeah.
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 I like that too.
Well, there's always that vibe at folk too, where everyone's just in a good mood, and it's always funny because it's not a huge space. It's a good sized space, the Folk on the Rock site, but it's not like it's an insurmountable walk, compared to other music festivals. But you have to budget about 45 minutes to an hour to get from the beer garden stage to the main stage, because you're going to run into 15 people that have to have the longest conversation ever with you about how great a time they're having. Everything that's
since
happened
last year.
Exactly.
We
Oh,
need to
it's
hang
been
out more.
weeks. Oh my god. Yeah, and it's always so fun because everyone's just feeling that amazing vibe, and despite the fact that it's not a big space, takes a while to get anywhere because everyone wants to share in that fun.
I know.
True.
I not that I don't like socializing and having those conversations. I do.
It's okay if you don't.
It's fun.
I do, but I have adapted this where you just look like you're on a mission. Like, I need to.
Yes.
Oh,
Oh,
great
the-
to see
yes.
you. Oh,
The
happy
consa-
folk.
yeah, yeah.
happy
Oh,
folk.
yeah.
Oh, I did it. I'll
The
catch you
Costanza
later.
method,
See you in the
yeah.
beer
Yeah.
gardens
Yeah.
later. Yeah, and then you just walk a little
Or
bit
you have
faster.
shades
Like
on.
you're,
Yeah, that's
you're on
right,
a
yeah.
Have
mission.
shades
Oh,
on.
if
You
you got
just
shades
don't make
on.
eye contact.
Yeah,
just kind of
absolutely.
always
Just keep
smile
walking
like,
forward.
yeah.
Yeah.
You get that all the
Tunnel
time.
vision,
I tried
game
to say hi to you
face.
earlier. It's like, I didn't see you. I was wearing my shades.
Yeah.
Just so many people here.
That's the Costanza method, though. George Costanza from Seinfeld. He's like, if you want people to think that you're busy, just always look
mad.
annoyed.
Yeah.
So if somebody comes onto your office, you're like, jeez.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay.
That's basically how I walk down the street.
That's how I walk everywhere.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to help somebody, just always make sure that you've got 2 bags, one in each hand.
Yeah. So you just carry around bags of sand. There's not even anything in them. It's like, I'm sorry, I gotta grab this stuff over here.
That's a Jack Handy.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got these sacks. I can't help.
These sacks, I can't help you. What's in your sacks?
Sarah, who were you
Yeah,
most
Moose,
looking
what do you
forward to
got?
seeing?
Yeah, Tegan and Sarah I was stoked to see them. Shred Kelly's always a good time. They just
Yeah.
came out with a new album, so that would have been sweet to see that live.
Yeah.
Joel would have been great too.
Those hooligans and Lemon Bucket Orchestra.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Mm.
It all would have been good.
Yeah, it really would have.
But here we are talking about what we would have liked to have seen.
Well, even yesterday. So you were saying the civic.
The Civic Holiday,
Holiday.
Folk Monday, yeah.
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 Yeah, that needs to be a thing. So many of us, hundreds of us, are not prepared to go to work the next day.
No.
No.
Nor
we
should we.
We shouldn't have to be.
Yeah.
I mean, if we get a half day off for Festival on Franklin, not Festival on Franklin, half day off for
Long John Jamboree. Yeah.
then we should get a full day off for fun.
Yeah. We're expected to stay there and finish off the festival,
Absolutely. You
right?
gotta finish with the drum dance.
You got to be
drummers.
ambassadors.
Yeah.
You've gotta-
Mayor Alti, if you're listening, just a couple
Oh,
suggestions.
she's listening. This is her favorite show.
It's true. Well, Clams and Moose might be.
I mean, it's up there, but that's not on right now.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
right. The two top shows on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, other than 90s at 9.
I imagine Mayor Alti has an early bedtime, though. She's probably like 9 o'clock. She's out. So she misses half of Clams and Moose every week.
Are you suggesting that Mayor Alti is getting too old for this?
I'm suggesting she's busy. She's got things to do. She's got to get some sleep.
Not during a pandemic.
That's
her
fair
social
enough.
calendar has opened up quite a bit.
Has it?
Well, says Instagram.
So I mean, like what we were feeling this weekend is obviously a little bit of whatever we're going to call it. Not FOMO, not sumo, but what were you two feeling this weekend?
I was feeling a loss.
Yeah.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
And I was dwelling a little bit. You know, I'd be like, okay, what time is it right now?
Oh, we would be.
Oh,
we would be
just
here,
doing
yeah.
this. And I was like, I'm just gonna let myself do this. Like,
Yeah.
So yeah, I was definitely feeling somber. It was still a nice weekend with friends, and it was nice to spend it with like a group of folks. I went to a birthday party on Saturday. Moose was there.
Nice.
Herb Matheson,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, the crew there is definitely like our big folk goers.
Yeah.
So it was like, you know, I always look forward to seeing them, and so that was nice.
Yeah. Like 4:30 in the afternoon, you're looking at your watch and thinking, I would be hanging out just outside of the folk grounds right now, having a little tailgate.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh.
Yeah. I was feeling that on like Saturday. I was like having a beer at the house, and I was like, I'd be having this beer elsewhere. I'd be having it in the beer garden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just on the other side of the fence.
That's right. Just yeah, exactly. Yeah. Hanging out with my VIP pass.
That's right.
Walking nowhere really between the beer stage and our stage, and back and forth and back and forth.
I also just tried not to think about it.
Yeah, there was that too. Like
Yeah.
leading up to it for the past couple of weeks, I've been just not thinking about it and kind of pushing myself away from the memories of that, just knowing that was coming up.
Well, last week we did our show like solely on folk and just played past folk musicians.
Yeah.
And Thursday I was just like, oh my God, like, you know, open the floodgates and just was like, yeah, like, oh my God, this is sad.
Yeah.
And moped around for the day. And then after that I was kind of like, well, you know, what are you going to do?
Yep.
Yeah.
Pretty
And,
much.
like, I think obviously we all got through it, and there's next year, and so that's how I looked at it. And it was still like an amazing, beautiful, fun weekend regardless.
Nice.
And yeah, you know, you gotta get on the getting up.
Yes, you heard it here.
There
folks.
it is. There it is.
You got to get on the getting up.
Couldn't sum it up any
And
better
quote.
than that.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's the new slogan for Clams and Moose. Get on the getting up.
The Mornings at the Cabin podcast.
Joined by Clams and Moose. It. Take it off the logger, put it on the show for tomorrow night. Yeah. Wednesday nights, 8 to 10, Clams and Moose. Catch them every Wednesday nights.
And we've
They're,
been going live.
they're back live.
Yeah.
That's right.
And
And if
keep pushing Clams. I'm like, let's do it live. Let's do it live.
are you guys going to do another up close and personal?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah. Why don't you do Lecter over here? He's got a tale to tell.
You know what?
Yeah.
One question I was thinking about last night
Yeah.
that we didn't ask you.
Oh yeah.
No, it's a very serious
Should
question.
I get into my
Yeah.
my serious voice
I have
again?
no idea
All
what she's going to say, by the way.
right. Okay, just a second. Go ahead.
Lobster or crab?
Oh, lobster.
Yes! Man, yes!
and crab.
No,
together.
You said lobster.
Together. I don't know. I mean, lobster are like
Tasteless?
disgusting insects of the sea.
Tasteless and chewy, and just like
Disgustingly good.
What lobster have you been eating?
That's
Disgusting
what
and
I
chewy.
said. Probably fresh water.
Freshwater
Probably out of-
lobsters.
Yeah.
I wouldn't touch them. Lobster, I don't eat lobster.
But you eat crab.
I could see that.
You like crab? I like crab too.
Crab dip is the best.
Crab dip's pretty good.
Tasteless.
Oh man.
Tasteless.
So when you say you like crab dip, you just like mayonnaise and cheese.
I do like mayonnaise. But when you
Love
say you
mayonnaise
like
and cheese.
lobster, you just like butter.
Well, yeah.
I mean, yeah,
that
that's
was
true.
That was
that's
the
true.
real champion.
Yeah,
Our-
yeah.
Ah.
Garlic
Doug was
butter.
like, let's be real. We all just love
Yeah, we
butter.
love
That's right.
Melted garlic butter.
Butter.
Let's stop kidding ourselves.
Okay,
I had lobster last night.
lobster's
You had
great.
butter last night.
I might have
Yep.
to. Just thinking about it, I might have to.
No.
I won't change my answer.
Take your time.
But I've never
Kamala,
eaten a
take those-
bucket of lobster, and I've
Those
eaten a
daggers
bucket.
out of your eyes.
I've
It's
eaten
'cause
a,
she's-
I've eaten a bucket of crab legs, like
Oh, really?
several buckets of crab legs. So there used to be this place in Calgary called Booker T's. It was on 4th Ave, right next to the highway, basically.
Okay.
4th Ave and Edmonton Trail, what turns into Edmonton Trail, right on the east side of the city there. It's now surrounded by condos. It used to be surrounded by nothing. Anyway, Booker T's Monday nights, $30.
Wow.
All you can eat crab
That's a
legs.
steal of a deal.
$30, all you can eat crab legs. This is 15 years ago, mind you, but still. So we would go down there on like when we were all like out of work actors, like save up our money for a few weeks and go down to Booker T's for like a birthday or something like that. $30. They bring you out a bucket of crab legs. Here's another bucket of crab legs. There you go.
I don't know if I'd go for that.
I
Yeah.
would.
Well, you know what?
Yeah.
I
mean, just
don't
like
care.
all you can eat sushi.
All you can eat, baby.
Yeah, but I don't want all the crab I can eat.
Yes.
I want a little bit of crab.
You do.
Not all I can
You
eat.
do, yeah.
No, no, no.
It
no.
came with corn on the cup.
So you're
Well, I
a
mean, that's good.
vegetarian.
I like
is
corn.
what you're saying.
No.
I know-
Far from that.
I
know
think
what
you
you're
could be a
saying.
vegetarian and still eat crab. That's where I sit
I
on
just
the
don't
whole
want
thing.
all I can eat crab. That's
Yeah.
all.
Well, there's like, I feel like there's a fine line. Obviously, you're not going to sit there for like 6 hours and eat crab legs. But,
I beg to
But if
differ.
it's all you
but you know, when you're paying like $30 for
$30
for 2 little legs, it's like, man, you know what? I could go for 1 more or 2 more.
Well, that's
Or
fair.
a bucket.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it's
Yeah, yeah.
like I might as well because
Yeah.
I already paid $30.
Yeah.
I
Whatever
guess-
the portions you get, it's never enough.
Okay, that's
Unless
fair.
it's all you
Yeah.
I guess I just don't want to feel a compulsion to eat more crab.
Oh, give me
You know?
break.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, I certainly don't want to do it like Monday after folk. That's
No.
for sure.
No.
Oh, I don't know. I think
Yeah.
that's the best time to do it.
Oh,
Just
God.
clear out the works from the entire weekend. Of course, and they don't do that anymore, and well, I don't do that anymore because there's no such thing as all you can eat anything really. And like what's that? Red Lobster does like nonstop shrimp, and it's like there's no such thing as nonstop shrimp. They do stop. There's only so many. Anyway, back to it. We got your thoughts on Folk in the Rocks. Obviously, we've had some talks about that. But what we didn't get you in on was last Friday's horrible, no good, terrible music show. And we were wondering, since you didn't get a chance to participate, what we're going to give you each a pick for the no good, horrible, terrible music hour, which I keep on renaming. A song that you hate that maybe other people love. Clams, go first.
Well, there was a bit of a tie.
Yeah. Okay, a tie.
Yeah, so it was Enter Sandman,
Yeah.
Metallica,
Yeah.
and Basket Case by Green Day.
Uh-huh.
You know, you have a thing against Green Day, right?
You
This is a
do.
clams
A big
and
thing.
moose clash,
I don't
if I understand it correctly.
know if I do have like a total hate on against Green
Well,
Day.
you never let us play it.
So
them
maybe
on the
I
show.
do.
I've heard you two go back and forth on clams and moose about Green Day, and I think you got. I think Sarah gave you an okay boomer out of it one time.
Okay,
When
There's
you
a
were-
few of those.
No,
Which one?
Crashing.
Can we
Green
say
Day.
okay Xers soon? We can.
Soon
Boomer
enough.
has more of a ring though.
I don't know. Xers are going to be the new boomers. Straight up, man. When you guys when y'all get into your 50s, you guys going to be
Cha-ching.
like,
We'll
can't
have
we
to come
just
up-
respect?
The
Can't we
Gen
just respect
Xers.
everybody? Is that too much to ask? That's going to be Gen X in 10 years.
Okay, we'll see. We'll come back.
We'll have,
You can have me back on the show in
different
10
saying.
years.
It'll be like X the Gen X.
Ooh.
Hey.
Write that down.
X, not go and give it to you. We're not going to give into that socialism.
So Green Day, I think
Yeah.
I think my Green Day is like the equivalent of Moose's Tragically Hip.
Okay. So complete
Yeah, and
detest.
that's what she always says. And I'm
and-
like, all right, I'll give it to
Yeah.
is
So yeah.
traitorous and treasonous to the country.
So that is that is mine.
Okay.
Green Day.
All right. Moose,
you. Oh, man.
we already know what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, we
You
kind of
guys-
all know.
Whenever
I-
you're kind of mad at me, or
I kinda slip it in there
yeah,
once in
you're
a
like,
while.
here you go, Moose. This one's
was
for
for
you.
Moose. Boom.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we know yours, but you want to tell everybody?
Praise You by, I don't even know.
Fat Boy Slim.
Fat Boy Slim. Yeah, I was gonna say.
Classic.
And now you and I came to a realization that maybe it was the video that made us hate it so much because it was
Yes.
playing in like nonstop rotation back in the day.
Non-stop much music.
And
Like
the video's
top 30
annoying.
Countdown. Oh man, it was so bad. And literally, like, because you know how they would skip a few songs and go to like, this is number 18. It was
Yeah.
like no matter what number it was, it would play it and here and there and there.
We
like,
wanted to hear it.
oh man, every time I turn on the TV, I'm like, what? It was so bad. It pains me that we have to listen to it soon.
It's a
Okay.
great song.
And like anger, like rage, every ounce of me. Like when you guys used to have the rant line, I would call, be like, "What are you doing?"
We need that rant line back, if only for you to call us, tell us that we're playing.
It would
crap
be
music.
me calling and Tom Loke guy calling.
Yep, Tone Loc guy.
Tone
yeah.
Loc.
Tone Loc guy, yeah.
Yeah.
Marie Bacchus, maybe we should get on the line there and
Oh,
tell us how aggressive
yeah,
we're
yeah,
being.
that's right.
Yeah. Oh, I hope so.
Did we ever find out who Tone Loke guy is?
No, not a clue. And
I
he
think-
gave up.
I think it was his former manager.
My former manager?
No, Tone Loke's former manager.
But his his love and like the voice that he would leave on the messages would just like crack me up. I'm like, is this guy for real?
Oh, he had a lot
He's
of
like,
passion.
come on, man,
Yeah.
just play that Tone Loke. I know it's
Yeah.
not in the '90s, but it's early 2000s.
Play Aces in the House. Early 90s, bro.
Okay, so we've got your picks. Green Day basket case for Clams. Fatboy Slim praise you for Moose. Now you said there was a tie. Enter Sandman for Clams. Moose. Was there a tie? There was one that was on the fence?
Yeah, we already knew.
But
about
then you decided that you liked it.
Oh yeah, Kid Rock and
Cheryl
I want to
Crow.
say Sandra Bullock was coming.
Sandra Bullock! Kid Rock and
Sandy.
Sandra Bullock. I push
man.
your picture away.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's up there.
I was like, oh yeah, I don't like that. Oh, actually, when I started to
Actually.
I put my
Actually,
picture away.
I love this song.
Yeah.
It has a very Moose karaoke sound to it.
Yes, next I was going
We'll
to say
say that.
Cabin Radio Christmas party. Me and Clams are getting up there
Absolutely.
and doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to mention one more time that the sponsor for today's show is Robin's Grad Girls. If you would like to support Robin's Nest fundraiser in support of Robin Mercer Spruill and in support of the chemo suites at the Stanton Territorial Hospital, they're trying to get 5 new chairs. You can do so by searching out Robin's Nest on Facebook. Now, search Robin's Nest fundraiser and it'll take you right there, because if you search Robin's Nest, it'll take you to a few businesses and it's a little harder to find. So search Robin's Nest fundraiser on Facebook. It'll take you right there. You have until July 31st to put in a donation. They're looking to raise $200,000. They've raised just over $75,000 now. It's a great support for a great cause to upgrade those upgrade the chemo chairs in the chemo suites at Stanton Territorial Hospital. And like I said, you have until the 31st to donate any money that you can. So please do that. And a big shout out from all the organizers at Robin's Nest to everybody who has donated. Robin leaves behind a pretty amazing legacy here in the North as an athlete and just as an inspiration to others. So if you can, go to Robin's Nest fundraiser on Facebook and donate before July 31st. So you got some time left. Finishing off Mornings at the Cabin with Clams and Moose. They gave us their selections for the No Good, Terrible, Horrible Music Hour. Green Day, Basket Case, and Fatboy Slim praise you, and a couple of also rans. Picture by Kid Rock and Sandra Bullock, or Cheryl Crow, whichever one, and the other being Enter Sandman. I can agree with both of those, and I can agree with both your top picks as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No problem. You look very surprised that I agree with you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Very nice. So what's coming up on Clams and Moose tomorrow night, 8 o'clock on cabinradio.ca/live. You can hear it live. And what's going on in the show tomorrow?
Well, we're gonna, bounce off of you guys
Uh-huh.
like we normally sometimes do, and do songs I wouldn't be caught dead listening to. So like when you're in your own home alone, and you're
Yep.
just like, oh, I just love this song, but a little bit embarrassed to love it. Just like a guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
And we're gonna play those songs, and then when you're in and having a party and you have it on shuffle, and then that song comes on, it's like, oh my god,
Oh my God.
skip it.
Wait.
I don't know how that got on there. Yeah. So
There we are.
those songs we want.
I put that on there as a goof.
Yeah.
Another goof.
Oh, yeah. Don't you guys just hate that song?
It's just so stupid. I did that. Isn't that so stupid?
So yes, send in your song requests.
Send in
Yes.
your Would Not Be Caught Dead song requests.
So Clams and Moose, we do have a Facebook page.
And Twitter.
Yeah, Clams and Moose on Cabin Radio. We also have an email address, clamsandmoose@cabinradio.ca. So send in your guilty pleasure requests.
Songs you would not be caught dead listening to tomorrow night.
In the presence of other people.
Yes.
Naked dancing in your own home? Absolutely. Crank that. Right on. Thanks so much for joining us as always. We look forward to your show and look forward to the next time we can all hang out together.
Yeah, thanks for
Aw.
having
Right on.
us.
Thank
All right.
you.
No problem. All right, that's going to do it for Mornings at the Cabin for this morning. Bring your slicker to work because it's going to rain off and on all day, but it's going to be humid AF. So, I don't know. Wear a raincoat, but very little underneath it. I'm going topless. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening. Check out more from the show at cabinradio.ca and by following the Mornings at the Cabin Facebook page.